Waldorf school to get my kids, and I was wondering who was going to get Seth and Theta that day. Was Stacy going to come and get them, or was Jay going to come and get them? I was walking through the parking lot, and somebody tried to back over me with a Prius. And she waved with a grin from ear to ear, and Nana was in the car from ear to ear, and a whole bunch of kids in the car from ear to ear. And then they left the scene like a crime scene. Shot down the road, and that instantaneously became my favorite memory of her, because as I was imagining where she must be, there she was, living life right under my nose.
Just a couple other thank yous. Kathy, stand up. If you want, you can stand up. Mary, I know Krista touched, but Bev, who I call Barb, I'm tired. I'm really tired. Thank you so much. And if I'm forgetting anybody, or Sue, Trish, Ann for taking Leo. Yes. Thank you very much. Are Sue and Trish here? Okay. The Denver crew that helped us through a very rough 3-4 weeks. We could not have done it without you. I mean that. And yeah, it was so good knowing that you guys were there. And Mary, I mean, I don't know how many times you put your life on hold. I mean, literally, grandkids, kids, trips, you did it all for us. So I told you several times, but I can't tell you enough. Thank you very much. And to everybody else who, if I'm missing anybody, and like Krista said, you're there with us in spirit, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We needed it, and we pulled through.
Hi, I just want to say one quick thing. The weeks that I spent with her at Little Mantrap are those moments that we had together were moments that I want to keep, because every time that I was with her, she just was so much fun and always optimistic, and she was just a great person.
All right, we'll get through this together.
So, I met Kayleen in I met her in 1993. Chris and I had been dating for a while. Drove up to the cities. And I remember meeting her for the very first time. I remember like it was yesterday. The back door of her house in the Twin Cities. And it was at night because we drove straight through. And she looked at me and she goes, "Well, get in here, we need to talk." Yes, ma'am, probably do. And that was the beginning of our relationship. We had a great relationship. It was sarcastic one at times. It was the same trip that I met Mama for the very first time, and we were playing a card game called Muggins, which is a famous card game in Watkins Weiser household. And you get loud and you get aggressive, and Nana was sitting to my right, and we were playing, and I made a mistake, and everybody yells Muggins, and you're pretty much a loser of the game. Mama looks over at me and she says, "You're not very bright, are you?" And I knew at that moment that I was gonna love being in this family, even though it was early in our relationship. And from there, just like many of you said, you know, she was a great mother-in-law. Even, you know, we had moments, even before Chris and I were married, and Bill passed. We were up there for the funeral, and it's all right, we got tons of kids in here. Look at me, I'm crying like worse than that kid. She included me in spreading his ashes, and Chris and I were only dating for a couple years, down by Mississippi River. She went on trips. You can see lots of trips. On a recent trip, several years ago, we went to Hawaii as a family, and Kayleen came with to be with us and to help out because it was a kind of a work trip. And we had a Jeep, and we were driving all over the island. And no, Jaden, you still cannot have a Jeep. I quickly realized having Kayleen in the back with the kids was a terrible idea because she instigated those two and the three of them to where it was just mayhem going on behind me. And we were telling, I think, her to knock it off more than the kids because of the things she was doing. And then she really knew her moments well. I think that's what I also appreciate about her. She picked her moments very well. And one of those moments on another trip, a couple years later, we were in Ireland. And we decided to rent a car. We got in, I think we landed at 5 in the morning in Dublin, and got a car. You drive on the right-hand side of the car. It was a stick shift. And you drive on the left side of the road. So I'm getting my bearings in Dublin, jet-lagged, and have everything in the back. We drive up to the small village, and we had taken a wrong turn, and so we were on a small country road, lots of trees. You couldn't really see down the road any, and I knew we had to turn around. So I go to turn the car around, and I'm blocking the road, but there's nobody coming. Just as I get the car perpendicular to the road, it seemed like they came out of nowhere, and there were cars on each side of us. And it's a stick, and the sticks that I always drove growing up, you push down on the stick to get it in reverse. Well, this Peugeot was not cooperating, and I could not get it into reverse, and we have cars on each side of us. And I felt like I was going to push the stick through the floor of the car and onto the street. And what I remember most about that moment was dead silence behind me. There was no talking at all, no comments, no smart alecky, what are you going to do now, or anything like that. Finally got it into reverse and got it off onto the side of the road, and we had a really good laugh about that. And it's moments like that I'll remember. And last thing I want to do is I want to echo something my other brother-in-law Jay said. Moments like what Stacy and Krista and Brian had to go through, they're tough, and you did really well. I'm really proud of you. I know she would be, I know she is.
Jeff and Jay and Allison, for running the households while we were away a lot. I think, death and dying are very tough on the living, and that includes my mom while she was hanging out those last few weeks. And, like I said before, we just appreciate everybody dead. I'm sorry I didn't mention you guys. You guys were a huge part of that as well. I mean, it wasn't foremost on our minds, and that probably means that you guys did a really good job because there weren't fires burning back home that we needed to take care of. We were able to take care of them. And that was a great gift that Jeff and Jay and Allison gave to us. So thank you guys very much. Thank you to the kids for me being away a lot more. For just hanging tough.
I don't want to preclude anybody who's like, I think maybe I'm not sure. But I also know this room is absolutely full of stories and experiences. And that is what those pieces of paper are on your table for you to be able to share those memories or gifts and things that Kayleen brought into your life, things she taught you, things that will always stay with you. So please do take the opportunity to share those things, not only today, but in all of the days ahead, because each of those stories brings back other memories for people. Just wanted to make sure. Again, on behalf of Krista and Stacy and Brian and the grandkids and Kim's mom, thank you so much for your time here. Continue to share and visit and eat and talk. I think that her smile is the most broad with the grandchildren, those pictures, or she just is literally in there. Yeah. So please do place your memories in the box up there. Continue to be together, and we will be together tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock as well. Here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jay.